I found out, I didn't know before, but I found out the greens that I was using had small doses of everything. So I used to look at greens like you have 100 different things in it, and man, that's awesome. More the better. Like, this is going to get me what I need. And the placebo effect is extremely powerful. So I would take it and I would feel good. And then I discovered that the doses of all of the ingredients were like microscopic. All right, so we'll talk business right now. So how and why I started a supplement company. And if you're thinking about starting a company or even a supplement company, I'm happy to help. I think the more good business people, owners, entrepreneurs that are out there with values, the better off the industry. So I started a supplement company with one supplement. And I started that supplement because there were no good supplements on the market. So I loved greens. I always like greens because it gives you a bit of energy. You know, it helps protect immunity. It gets you nutrients that you from natural sources that you wouldn't otherwise get in your diet from different foods. Like spirulina is a great one. It's very good for you, but you're not going to eat spirulina. It's algae. So I always like greens, but this is the turning point when I actually thought about starting something. I found out, I didn't know before, but I found out the greens that I was using had small doses of everything. So I used to look at greens like you have 100 different things in it, and man, that's awesome. More the better. Like, this is going to get me what I need. And the placebo effect is extremely powerful. So I would take it and I'd feel good. And then I discovered that the doses of all of the ingredients were like microscopic. Like, they were maybe 1,000 like not even 1,000, 500 milligrams of spirulina, for example, when you need 5 grams to have the clinically effective dose and the desired effect, the impact from the ingredient. So that was defeating, but I'm like, okay, like there's going to be another one. And I was at the time I was writing books. I had the Man Diet, the Lost Art Discipline. I was doing some blogging, doing some YouTube. I was better on YouTube back then. So I started looking for other supplements, like other greens powders that would, one, have the right doses of ingredients. And that was incredibly difficult to find. And then 2, one that didn't have estrogenic ingredients and ingredients that may increase estrogen, like mint and green tea can, alfalfa maybe. Like, these things, they need more studies, but at least on rats, they increase estrogen. They definitely need more studies, but I just don't like things that may increase estrogen in my green supplement. So, and some had flax and soy and stuff. Those are definitely things you want to stay away from. So I started looking for green supplements that were not only had full doses, but didn't have estrogenic ingredients. That became even more difficult. Then I'm like, well, I'm a man. I want to have some impact on libido, blood flow, and testosterone. So, you start looking for green supplements that have full doses, that have no estrogens and estrogenic ingredients, that are naturally flavored, that ideally are organic, and that help male hormones, libido, blood flow, different things like that. So that became impossible. I couldn't find anything. And starting a supplement company is, I thought, the most difficult thing in the world. It's easy to find. You don't have to be a doctor. In fact, there's a lot of doctors out there with crappy supplements. So it's like, your credentials are your credentials. Like, good for you. You still have to have values to create a good product. And a value I have is to create the best thing I can create. And it's not that difficult to figure it out. So Examine is a great site that has very good research on each individual ingredient. There's a lot of research out there that you can just easily read and kind of see if it's bullshit, see if it's a good study, see if it's not. It just takes time and effort. And it's easy to find. It's simple to find the clinically effective dose. Like, it's out there in the research, and the research has already been done. The researchers have done what they need to do, and now people like me or another supplement owner can just find that research that the doctor did that is good research and include it in a supplement. So I wrote the Man Diet. I learned a lot about different ingredients, how they interact with the body, how they interact with hormones, and I started looking into supplements and clinically effective doses, how much you need, best sourcing practices, things like this. When you look for a manufacturer, most manufacturers have white label products. So white label products are just their house manufacturing blend. And that's what most people use when they create a supplement company, because supplements are virtually like all marketing. There's horrible supplement companies doing way better than I am, because they're great at marketing. They're really good at it, and good for them for doing the marketing. I just wish they had more values with their products. But there's some supplement companies who have good supplements and good marketing, and they're doing really well, and I'm happy to see that. But most manufacturers just have their house blend, and I didn't know this. So getting a custom blend ends up being a lot more expensive. And I didn't know how to do that because a lot of manufacturers weren't really doing that. They were just using their house blends and cheap blends, and we've got something similar and this is that, and then you look at the ingredient profile and it's horrible. It's similar to them because they don't give a crap about what the product actually is. And then I met this guy who's started a manufacturing company, had 1 or 2 clients, he was very new. So as a new company, he was willing to make exactly what I wanted in the doses, with the right sources and everything, and it gave me a reasonable price. It was still way more expensive than, it was like 4 times, 5 times more, maybe more than that, more expensive than the house blends. Yeah, it was way more expensive, and he was willing to make exactly what I wanted. So I started with Man Greens. That was the supplement that I started with, and I put everything I had in money plus credit into buying, I think it was maybe 2,000 bottles, 3,000 bottles or something like that, just to see if it would work. I thought, for one, I wanted that product and I wanted to start using it right away. So I got it made, got samples out. I used it for 3-4 months before I ever released it, loved it, gave it to friends, they loved it. So we started with Man Greens. Man Greens did really well. It did better than I expected. And Man Green's still the best green supplement out there. Even the most expensive green supplements out there, I'm not going to name names because you could just look at the labels. They have too many ingredients. They don't use full doses. They have great marketing. They can charge $99 a bag for a 30-day supply. We charge $79 for a 30-day supply, or $59 if you're on subscription. But you look at their doses and they've got 1 or 2 ingredients at full dose, and then the rest of them are just at useless doses. So it doesn't matter if you have tons and tons of ingredients. If none of them have the clinically effective dose, you're not going to get what you want from the ingredient. Even if it makes you feel better, that's probably placebo. It's a powerful thing. It's the most proven quote unquote supplement there is. Placebo effect is incredible. But all these companies, so many of these companies, I don't know if they don't know or if they don't care. At some point you have to know what a clinically effective dose is. But so many of them just don't use them. And in green supplements, they use a lot of ingredients that you just naturally have in your diet. So just eat more vegetables and you're fine. We have like spirulina, ashwagandha, tongat ali, forskolin. These are things you're not going to have in your diet. Some other ones that you don't have enough of in your diet. So we started with Man Greens. Man Greens did decently well. And then I just started looking for or paying attention to other supplements that are either done wrong or there's just no supplements like there. So Man Boost was our second supplement. There wasn't really, we've got this issue with chemical estrogens. Atrazine, I think, is the main one in the water supply. It's a pesticide and it runs into water, and we've got a lot of it in our water supply. So IC3, we have a full dose of that expels chemical estrogens out through the liver. Zinc, boron, and grapeseed extract all block aromatase. There wasn't a supplement out like that, so we created that. Man Brain's another one. Nootropics are big sellers, but most of them don't have full doses of clinically effective ingredients. I saw this influencer tweet his nootropic the other day, and I'm like, this supplement sucks. I didn't know it was his supplement. I just said, this is horrible. There's no clinically effective doses. The ingredients you use aren't even nootropic. There's no choline that fights cognitive decline and improves focus, memory, recall, things like that. There's ingredients that should be in a nootropic as a base that just aren't in the nootropic. And the best nootropic at the time just didn't use full doses of the best ingredients. So then we did Man Brain. And we've kind of broadened out from there, doing different supplements, either that aren't in the market or are typically not done correctly in the market, which is essentially why we don't have protein. Because if you just go get a New Zealand whey, they don't give their cows hormones. So from New Zealand, you're going to get high quality whey. Just go to get a high quality New Zealand whey and you're going to do well with it. And that's essentially why we don't have a protein. We've got a post-workout because most post-workouts don't have full doses of the best ingredients. They don't have a full dose of creatine, beta-alanine, betaine, or carnitine. So those are important for workouts. But But that's essentially how I started the supplement company and why I started the supplement company. That's the first real company I started, and it was more because of a missing component in the market for my own use that I didn't see out there. And I figure, like, when I write something for me because I figure other guys will benefit from it. But this was very similar. I made the supplements for me because I figured other guys would benefit from it. So that is how I started the supplement company. If you want to start your own and you want help with it, by all means reach out. Email me at support or chat at mitanutra.com. Glad to help. If you want more business videos on how to build a business, we're still growing. There's a lot of growth that has to be done. We did okay, solid for a year 1. We doubled that year 2, and we're about 1.5x year 3, which we need to, keep growing and evolving, and I need to keep learning. So that's why I started a supplement company, and that's why it seems to be doing pretty good. And we've got a lot of room to grow. But if you're buying supplements, whether for me or anyone else, just look for clinically effective doses. Make sure every ingredient is listed on the back, and then Google that ingredient for the clinically effective dose. That's the best way to search for supplements. If you see proprietary blend, if you see hormone blend, if you see any kind of blend, just don't buy it. They hide their dosages because they don't have enough of each ingredient to have a full dose, so they don't put on their label. One piece of advice, if you are starting a business, I think the easiest thing is to find something that is missing in the market. It doesn't have to be a market that you're just starting up in. Some of the biggest companies in the world were in large markets and they just did it better than everyone else. So, little piece of advice, interesting little setup to how Mitanutra got started. Okay, the name Mitanutra. Mitanutra just reflects the kind of guy I speak to or make supplements for. It's man in the arena. It's not for the guy who's necessarily looking for a quick fix on fat loss. We won't have a fat loss pill because fat loss pills are pretty much useless. Just be at a caloric deficit and increase your protein. It's guys who are actually in the arena, in life, trying to improve, trying to evolve, trying to do better work, trying to be a better dad, trying to be a better man, fitter, stronger, healthier. Our supplements just help support that guy. And so Man in the Arena is the famous Theodore Roosevelt speech. Look it up. I'll try to put it down below in the description. It's a great speech, but that kind of exemplifies who Mitanutra is for. So hope you like the video. Take care.